What's up, Wikimaniacs? We are recording on January 20th as we're talking, one day after the TikTok ban. And I'd like to read you a DM from me and Sean. This was Saturday, 11:30 at night, right after the TikTok ban. I sent him, LOL, you can't respond. 12 hours later, he messages, this is evil, laugh my ass off. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
I'm not ready.
Get therapy.
Canadian bastard.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome back to another Friday Am I the Asshole episode. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined with my two American brethren, Sean and John. What's going on, boys?
We gotta say, we already have an asshole 5 seconds in already.
I think he might be outdone by Elon doing a fucking Nazi salute at the inauguration. So
yeah,
that's sick.
I chose not to watch it, so I don't.
Yeah,
what?
I'm back on TikTok already. You know, I was on that bitch immediately.
Yeah, I've gotten. I just looked at it. I have like 5 unread or unseen videos from you on TikTok.
Yeah, it's mostly people from other countries being like, Americans, now that you're back, we gotta say the Canadians got way too big for their britches. They were talking mad shit when y'all were gone.
I don't think it was just us. But yeah, there were some great memes within that 12-hour span of you guys being off.
Honestly, if it turns out that Zuck or Elon bought TikTok, even if they didn't buy TikTok, it's seeming to be a little Trumpy. So I might just stick to Red Note, low key.
That's fair. How is Red Note? I gotta ask.
It's chill so far. I mean, they straight up don't allow politics, so I haven't seen it on mine.
Okay, an issue in itself, I guess. But
yeah, which is probably a problem. But yeah, it's chill. I mean, it's funny seeing the people that some of the like TikTokers I saw, followed on TikTok. Or like would just pop up on my For You there with Chinese subtitles. I'm like,
oh,
whoa.
Yeah.
But then they also have like celebrities and people were like, there ain't no way Kevin Hart is on Red
Note. John, you're on it too, aren't you?
Yeah, but I have no patience. I deleted off my stuff already.
You don't have
and
patience.
I also mistakenly deleted TikTok off of my app, so I still can't download it.
Oh, that's insane. That sucks.
But I can see it on the web browser though. I just watch it if I'm ever in a computer.
That is wild that you don't have the patience for short form video content.
I really don't.
A little scary.
That's a problem, I think.
My attention span is so short. It's shorter than a TikTok video, to be honest.
I guess that's fair because some TikToks can go up to 10 minutes. So
can they now?
Yeah, I think even longer.
Yeah, right.
I've gotten into bed after Sienna has gone to bed for like an hour, and she's just like, I've watched a whole movie since you've been gone on TikTok. I'm like, fuck?
What?
They'll just put it in increments. You just scroll.
Yeah, it's like 10-minute increments. You just part 1.
Yeah, I have a friend that did that, and I said, "Are you psycho? What do you mean?
Why can't you just watch it on the
apps? You could have watched that on a TV, brother.
Bro, get on Tubi on something.
I was there. The movie was hitting. I just got caught in. What can I say?
It's crazy.
I'm already watching it. What am I going to do? Google where to watch it somewhere else? I got it.
Well, I think the movie she watched, we have access to it. Like we have the streaming service. Anyway, enough TikTok talk and Red Note talk. Let's hop into some asshole talk, boys.
Whoa. Is that a new app?
Yes, actually.
We can make it.
We are developing a new app.
Yeah, it's the TikTok replacement.
Yeah.
You will not be funded by the oligarchy.
Yeah, it's like there's what's that subreddit? It's like you have a 50% chance of getting puppies or something gruesome. It's like you have 50% chance it's going to be puppy video, 50% it's going to be an asshole. You know what I mean?
What
okay, that's cool.
subreddit is this?
I'm cool with that.
I'd
much prefer an asshole than something gruesome. I
I don't.
Very queasy stomach.
I don't want it to be wild.
I can imagine
asshole?
some assholes being disgusting. So maybe not.
All right,
there are some gruesome assholes.
We'll rethink
it's
this.
called a bidet, people. Please invest in one.
They'll be our biggest sponsor.
I can't believe we're fucking past 3 years in and we have not gotten one bidet sponsor.
Yeah, come
Makes
on.
me sick. Sick to my stomach, fam.
All right. So the first one we got here is cross-posted by the GOAT, lower score Strawberry Bunny.
Ooh.
Oh, why did that not go off?
It went off. We heard it.
I heard it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Cool.
Oh, that's weird.
Also, the people have spoken. The GOAT button stays.
It was never going to go away anyways. I would have
Oh.
protested the fuck out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always for whatever the people want and whatever Venmos me the most money. You know what I mean? Whatever side sends me the most money, that's the side I'm for, actually.
True.
Not me. I stick to my principles.
I don't. You better believe I don't.
All right. So the title for this one is, Am I the asshole for not punishing my son after he came up with a pretty elaborate plan to peep on the neighbor girl topless in her backyard?
Oh, hell no. What the
That's
hell?
weird.
Yeah, you're the asshole. You better punish yourself for being a damn peeping Tom.
This seems like one of the things that makes like a oh, this is what the protagonist in a 1980s movie does. And then we watch it like now and we're like,
What the fuck?
that's not okay, right? We're all in agreement that's fucking weird.
Yeah. It's like those stories of like how your grandparents met. And you're just like, I pestered her for 3 years
Until
before she
she
said
caved
yes.
in.
It's like,
I
well,
got her
that's not
fired
okay.
from every job so she could do anything but depend on me.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Bro, if that was my kid, I would drive that kid to the freaking jail myself.
Mm.
I'm like, you fucking pervert.
Scared straight.
Oh
Mhm.
man, remember that show? What a good show! Nice call out.
The funny thing is I never actually watched it, but I just know the reference.
Yo, fuck, dude, it's so good.
All right. So lots and lots of ugly background here, but I'll try not to wander. My wife and I have been separated for 2 years, inked to paper on an ugly and contentious divorce back in May. I have primary custody of our 2 kids, 17-year-old daughter and 14-year-old son, and I live in the home which we've owned for 20 years. On Monday, I came home to find my son and his 2 friends up on the roof to our little sun deck. I asked him what he was doing and if he was being safe. They said they were playing Army, and since I coached the other 2 kids in mountain biking for almost 6 years now, I knew their parents wouldn't mind either. So I told them to put the ladder away when he was done and to keep his phone on just in case I needed him to come down. I was actually most perturbed because he didn't put the ladder away. So they did this every day this week until Thursday when my daughter came home from her CIT job and in her ever so sweet and aerobic tone asked me if I was really so stupid to think my son and his friends were playing Army and let me know that the real reason they're up there is that our 22-year-old neighbor was in her backyard topless and Aiden had set up a perch on the sun deck to get a better view. That was all one sentence. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
I climbed up thinking that she was just trying to get him in trouble, but sure enough, the deck had a perfect view of the chassis lounge where I assumed the girl had usually sat. I told my son to knock it off, and he said he would. This morning, I got an angry knock on the door, and it was my ex-wife and the neighbor. They've been friends for many years. Apparently, the neighbor called my wife sometime midweek, and they had agreed that they would confront me and my son Saturday morning. We sat down, and it went from a calm, this is something we're concerned about, to accusations of me being an irresponsible absentee parent, and my son is leading an adolescent sex ring in a matter of seconds. I tried to remain calm and explain that they are just acting like 14-year-old boys, and I've gotten them to stop. My wife...
Did you?
Probably not. My wife asked if I planned on punishing him. I said that I don't feel like he did anything punishment worthy, and rather this was a learning experience about respecting people's privacy.
If I was the neighbor, I would have been like, I think we have to fight now, right?
We're squaring up.
I think we're fighting.
My neighbor said that if he were her son, he'd be in intensive psychotherapy and medicated. I told her that it was really overkill. My wife told me not to talk to her friend like that and I asked them to leave before it got any more nuts. My wife has texted me that I'm being incredibly irresponsible and that if I don't do something, she's going to get her lawyer to revisit the custody agreement. In all of that, she called me an asshole several times and said it was more miserable being divorced from me than it was to be married to me. Yay, weekend. I guess that's about it, but am I the asshole for how I'm handling the issue with my son?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where it's like you are probably justifying that you did the right thing because you said, hey, that's not good. And then you left it at that.
Yeah.
If you saw it a second time around and they're still doing it, it is up to you as a parent to say, dude, I told you to knock that shit out. That is not, and you need to explain to, I mean, it shouldn't have been an explanation needed because that is some perverted thing to do. But you got to go and elaborate and say, like, dude, you can't be doing that. That shit, you're fucking violating the neighbor's privacy. She can do whatever the hell she wants on her property. And why are you disturbing her when she's doing it in her own backyard? And not only that, you're setting the precedence for your kid that they're going to get away with doing this shit like in the future.
Yeah.
And all they're going to do is a little slap in the, and it's not even a slap in the wrist. It's more of like, hey, son, don't do that. Hee, that's
Yeah.
not good.
It's like he took an extra cookie from the cookie jar instead of peeping on your neighbor. Like,
I mean, that's illegal, is it not?
It is.
Seriously.
very-
If I was a neighbor, bro, I swear I would I would go on and say like, dude, I'm going to charge you guys for something, or I'm at least file a complaint. And I hope you guys get punished in some way.
As soon as he was like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just what
Yeah.
14-year-olds do. I'd be like, square up. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's granted he found out and shut it down, but who knows if he would have just done it again the next day while his dad wasn't there. It doesn't seem like he's very present. I'm not going to front, again, not a dad. I feel like if 3 14-year-olds are spending a good amount of time on the roof, they're probably not playing Army
at 14.
at 14. You know what I mean? I feel
Probably
like
not.
they want to play Army, they'll probably just play Call of Duty. I don't know. I mean, love kids playing outside. That's cool. That's not how we did it. But I would say that seems pretty
Sus.
sus.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to the daughter for telling him, but also, where were you to not inquire more about it? Like just being more mad at the ladder thing 3 days in a row. Than, so I don't know. Like, I think the son needs to be in intense psychotherapy and on heavy meds? Probably not. Probably just regular therapy, I think, would be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or even some sort of punishment like grounding or anything.
Something. to say, I don't really think he needs any punishment is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have done one simple thing to remedy that situation, not give them any access to get up in the roof. Like, hey, y'all can't fucking hang out here because you guys are doing some shady shit.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
could have stopped it. That's the first thing he could have done.
right.
For sure,
right.
those two, your two little friends are not allowed back at the house.
Yeah. Those creepy mountain bikers. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, John, but it also should have come with some sort of punishment. Like he didn't punish him
for sure.
at all. Other
No,
than,
not at all.
oh, you can't do something illegal anymore. It's like,
Hey, knock
cool.
it off. And then that's it.
And then-
Knock it off with a wink. Don't do it
Knock
again.
it off.
Also, the ladder's there. You can get up there anytime that I'm not home. Like, it's just crazy.
This reminds me of fucking that Theo Von story where he was like, oh yeah, we had one kid at our school that just, it's illegal for us to buy magazines or whatever. So he would just draw boobs.
Oh, I saw
They were
that
like,
clip.
what?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, he would just draw boobs from memory and people would pay him money for it.
Yeah, he was like, we paid him $4, and he's like, you paid him $4, and he's like,
You're like, you'd
you
pay
would've
eight.
you'd pay $8.
You'd have paid $8. That's crazy.
But Reddit agreed and said asshole. Serenity Violet said definitely an underreaction. Boys being boys is not a response that teaches them to
Never,
behave better.
actually, just quite never really the response.
never a good.
Again, not a parent, but I just feel like there's always a better reasoning, or boys will be boys is just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like this.
It's a tired excuse for them to
Yeah.
get away with anything.
Just punish kids. You know what I mean? Dude,
Yeah. No
teach
matter
them
the
right
gender.
from wrong. Boys will be boys is not an excuse to do weird, perverted, creepy shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's how we get fucking locker room. It's the evolved locker room talk, which I think is also a crock of shit.
Yeah. There should be consequences for this, including telling the parents of the other boys involved so that they can be dealt with as well. So that was from Serenity Violet. And
Also, how are you
agree.
going to tell? Because it sounds like this is the ex-wife and the neighbor sounds like mom.
yeah,
So how are you going to
probably,
tell
yeah.
two women that were defending another vulnerable woman
Yeah.
that they're overreacting when your son is a peeping Tom? It's just like,
Yeah.
Read the goddamn. And your daughter is the one that had to fucking wake you up to the whole thing. No, wake up here. You know what I mean? It's
crazy that if one less woman was involved in this, your son would have gotten away scot-free. Yeah. It's insane.
And that's always a dangerous precedence to set. It's like, oh, I can get away with shit. I can do this to anybody else. I'll set
Especially
up another
at
fucking
14.
fort
Just teach them early, like, hey, that was really fucked up. Instead of being like, damn, not that big of a deal, I guess.
Yeah.
Push him off the roof one time. Just say there's repercussions to actions.
Well, maybe not that.
I mean, I would. If my kid was a pervert like that, I'd be like, oh shit, you slipped, dumbass.
I'd have been like grounded. No more army.
Oh, he's going to be grounded when his ass
You're
falls
going
off
to the
roof.
army, actually. There we go. All right. Moving on to the second story here. Cross-posted by Phoebe the Fan.
Oh, yeah.
Go to deed.
Hope you guys heard that, because I didn't.
Yep.
And the title is, Am I the Asshole for Telling a Plus-Size Woman That I Love Being Skinny?
I mean, if the plus size woman is saying she loves being plus size, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But if the plus size woman was being like, man, I really need to lose weight, and then you're just rubbing it in, or like, because if I'm complaining about like, damn, it's hard to lose weight, and then my skinny friend is like, yeah, just wait till you get here. It's so awesome. I'd be like, I know. That's why I'm trying to fucking lose weight. I don't need to hear your fucking confirmation that it's sick. Would love to be skinny, dude. So I'm going to say asshole, probably.
I'm probably with Sean on this one. I'm seeing it that way too.
All right. So I dread going to my childhood friend's birthday party every year. We moved apart a decade ago, and even though I'll always care deeply about her, we are very different people now, and her friend group reflects this. She has one friend, let's call her Amanda, who, without fail, has to comment on my weight every single time she sees me. Quote, "You're so skinny. Do you even eat? Does your boyfriend care that you don't have curves? Your legs are like sticks."
Okay, never mind.
There
We're
it is.
wrong.
That's the pass right there. Anytime someone's opened up their fucking mouth commenting someone else, I'm all about equal opportunity. You talk shit, bitch, I will too.
I'll talk shit back.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I eat plenty. I just have a fast metabolism, which keeps me super thin.
God, people I would kill to have that.
I keep a strong face when Amanda says these things to me, but truthfully, she's touching on my worst insecurities, and it makes me dread going to these parties every year. I was considering not going this year until I talked to my mom about it. My mom had what I thought was a great idea on how to deal with Amanda. She suggested that I pretend she's giving me a compliment. My mom told me if Amanda says, "You're so skinny," just smile and say, "Thanks, I love being skinny." And if she looks disappointed at your response, you'll have proven that she was trying to insult you. I thought it was great advice. However, something I failed to mention to my mom was that Amanda was overweight. I didn't realize this meant I was potentially entering asshole territory.
Well, I mean, she started it. I
Yep.
think you're fine.
I was going to say, I think you're in the clear here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the dreaded birthday party day comes, and of course, no surprise, Amanda immediately looks at my arms and comments on how tiny they are. I ignore this comment. Then later on in the day, we are standing in a group together, and she was eyeing me up and down. She chuckled to herself and said, "God, you're so skinny." And I thought to myself, okay, here's my moment. I turned to her, smiled, and said, "Thanks. I love being skinny." And then, and I'm completely serious here, she slaps me in the face.
Amanda, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yo.
I was in complete shock, just staring back at her, mouth hanging open with my hand on my cheek. Everyone was silent. She suddenly bursts into tears and runs out of the room.
What are you crying about?
You've just harassed this woman for the past how many years? And then
Harassed and
assaulted her.
assaulted.
Yeah.
Two of her friends chased after her. Only one other girl and my childhood friend stayed and asked if I was okay, but everyone else was just shooting me dirty looks. I promptly left the party, which sucked because I had a 2-hour commute and had planned to sleep over. The next day, I was texting with my childhood friend about it. She basically thinks that even though Amanda shouldn't have slapped me, that I was insensitive for saying I love being skinny to a plus-size person. I argued that Amanda had been constantly insensitive to me at every party, and I didn't comment on her body at all, only my own. She told me that it's different because being skinny is socially acceptable, and that Amanda wouldn't usually do something like this, but I triggered her with my insult. My mom thinks I'm in the right, but this was all her idea, so of course she does. So am I the asshole for what I said to Amanda?
Hell no. And honestly, Amanda can kiss my ass and she can catch these court papers. Because assault me, bitch, you're going to be talking to a lawyer.
Hello, police. I'd like to report assault and battery.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to jail.
While I do agree with the childhood friend that being skinnier is more socially acceptable, that's like doesn't give you the excuse to be an ass.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, like we've said with like any kind of disabilities, or like when people talk about Kanye, we're like, oh, well, he's bipolar. And we're like, other bipolar people are like, and that doesn't mean
That's not okay.
Kanye could be a fucking anti-Semitic dick, you know, to everybody.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, just because you have something that's not socially accepted or whatever the norm is, that doesn't give you like
Carte blanche to do whatever
carte
you
blanche
want.
to be a fucking dick. And it wasn't like a one time you were an ass. Your whole relationship to this person is antagonizing them.
Yeah.
You've pretty much bullied them for years and years to the point where they're like, I don't even want to, you know, attend the party.
I will even say, like, the comment OP made was not even that great.
It
Like,
was so mild, bro.
She brought up her body, and then she was just like, yeah, I love being skinny. Like, what else do you want me to say
like,
to that?
Dude, is your boyfriend okay with you not having, like,
That's crazy.
You know, Kurt?
That is crazy.
Okay, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I would have, that's slap worthy.
Yeah,
Nobody saying nothing. That was years ago. Nobody saying nothing about that. That's crazy. That's a crazy comment.
Why is Amanda still getting invited? That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm saying. And that's another thing too. It's like, you never really know what others are going through. And even if someone who is, you know, in society's definition of skinny or like, you know, conventionally good looking, you still don't know if they're going through insecurities, if they have something internal that they're going through. You don't know if they're sick. You
We're
just don't
incredibly
know.
attractive men, and we are all going through it. You know, what I'm
Like
saying?
why
All
the
three
fuck
of us.
do you need like to comment on other people's bodies? And you know, it was funny you saying that because like literally like 30 minutes before we start recording, I got happy because my face has been really puffy for the past like how many years, and for the longest time I have like really short ears, so I can't see them when my face are puffy. So I looked in the mirror today when I was combing my hair, and I ran outside. I told Julia, I'm like, oh my God, babe, I can finally see my fucking ears after like years. And she was like, hell yeah, that's what's up. Like she was gassing me up. But
I'm not going to lie. I've almost never seen your ears just because we record with headphones on.
well, yeah, but now like, oh, okay. So when I go like this, like you can't really see my ears because like it folds a certain way. And anyways, and my face is really puffy too. But yeah, I just don't understand what's the need of people like, you know, commenting on other people's body, unless it's, you know, to hype them up and say like, hey, the work that you're putting in, like I could see the results. Congratulations. Good job. Keep it up. But still, it's like what Sean is saying. It doesn't excuse someone because she's going through it. She has some insecurities on her own. Doesn't give you the right to pass that on to the next person. That's just fucked up.
And I will say, John, your workout routine's working. You've been looking good, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
But yes, Reddit agreed, not the asshole. And I think this was from our comment section. Mass Space Ranger Ranch Dorito said, as a physically bigger person, Amanda 100% was body shaming OP, not the asshole. To which Sweet Chick 78 said, exactly. She was trying to make someone feel as bad as she did. I'm a bigger woman, but I think it's gross and rude to degrade someone else's body. People are people. We come in all shapes and sizes. We need to determine by character who we like, not what they look like. I wonder who it was that said we shouldn't worry about the person's look, but their action and character. That's the philosophy I live by and how I've raised my kids. I don't care if you've got green hair and one leg. If you're cool, you're cool. If you're a jerk, your looks are least of my problems. And I think that's a wonderful way to look at it. It's Amanda's an ugly person on the inside.
Oh, absolutely.
She needs to work on herself and
get therapy.
Oh, yeah. You know how jealous of I am with like those 350, 400-pound linemen in the NFL. I'm like, how are you that gigantic? And you're so nimble at the same time. Bro, I try to fucking run that fast. I will tear an ACL.
I mean,
like, it's crazy.
You know, by the time they hit 30, their knees are just.
Oh, I bet.
gone.
I bet.
Yeah, they have some offensive linemen that are like damn near close to 40 though. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
I ain't never seen an offensive lineman without having at least 2 fucking knee braces at a time.
Or surgery.
Ankles all the way taped up, hands all the way taped up like mittens.
Crazy.
It's nice to see them when they retire and then they just lose all the body fat that they needed to have for their position and they're just ripped, tall human beings. I'm like, damn it. Must be nice to just retire rich and be extremely ripped.
Unless you're Aaron Donald, who is like a giant of a man and has a 6-pack. What the fuck?
He's built like the Hulk, actually.
It's scary, dude.
I will say, being a professional athlete, you have the money and time to work on your body. So
it's like a Mac from It's Always Sunny. He was like, "I'll tell you the secret. I get paid to work out 4 times a day, and I have a dietitian, and that's the secret."
Yeah. Oh, off topic, Sean. Juliet wants me to do Pilates with her, and I tell her that you do Pilates, and I'm like, I don't think I can handle that. I just saw videos of professional rugby players trying Pilates, and their legs were shaking. I'm like, I think I would.
Oh no, I was getting fucking cream, and usually I'm like one of 2 dudes in the class. Every time, because a lot of it is like body weight and shit, and I'm fucking fat, so like I'm struggling a lot. And then she'll like go through the class, be like, "Yeah, you're killing it," to whoever, and then like she'll pass by me, and then she'll just say, "Love those faces y'all are making. Y'all are really trying y'all's best." And I'm like, damn, don't fucking look at me, dude.
I think we need to do content where us 3 do a Pilates class and watch us struggle.
Oh shit. I've never done Pilates, so I probably
Me neither, but I've seen videos and I'm scared.
Rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time, but exercise form.
Oh fuck.
Where you're just like doing like in positions you wouldn't think about being in, doing, body weight, whatever. Yeah. It's tight though. It's a good workout. You're working out a lot of small muscles and shit.
I'm down
like
to
muscles
try.
You don't usually work out with, like, standard lifting.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next story. This one's got an update. This was posted by Alarmed Lower Score Sorbet 101, and the title is "Am I the asshole for not giving my girlfriend my SIN number so she can run a background check on me?"
Oh, what number?
Like social security number?
Sorry. Yes, I forgot that's what social security number.
And sorry, you said that was his girlfriend?
Yes. Am I the asshole for not giving my girlfriend my social security number so she can run a background check on me?
No, hell, I ain't giving no one my fucking social security number. Are you kidding me?
I don't.
Unless we're married and business partners, because I gave y'all my social security number.
Did you?
I mean,
we all have each other's security number.
Yeah,
true.
I understand. Yeah.
We all parts of owning a business together, I guess.
At least we're married through business.
We're married through business.
All right. So I, 27 male, have been in a relationship with my girlfriend, 31 female, for almost a year now.
Almost a year? You're asking for a social security number? You've only been dating for almost a year? That's crazy.
That's when we buy the house together. That's when you get it.
That's so funny.
This evening, she sat me down and said she needed to have a serious conversation with me and asked me for my social security number. I said, absolutely not. Why would you need that? And she told me about her ex-boyfriend who basically was living a double life. He had a bunch of criminal charges in his past that he never told her about and eventually exposed her to some sketchy and dangerous behavior before she broke things off after he cheated. I said, okay, thank you for telling me that, but what does that have to do with my social security number? She said ever since she's had her friend that works for the federal government run background checks on people to make sure they're safe, and because our relationship is progressing, she needs to know if I'm a safe partner for her.
It seems illegal.
So she wants my social security number to check my criminal history. And yes, I believe it is illegal to do personal checkups on the federal government.
Yeah, you got to sign a form like an SF-84 and 86 form to even get those authorizations to run them.
Yeah.
Unless if it's for a federal job.
Now, for the record, I don't even have a parking ticket. I'm a nerd and a gym rat. All I do is work, go to school, play Dungeons and Dragons, come home, watch anime, rinse and repeat.
Guy sounds like all three of us combined.
Throw some wrestling in there and hockey, and you got us.
Replace anime with wrestling, that's the three of us combined. That's crazy.
So I don't care about a background check. She won't find anything. But I'm not giving out my social security number.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable enough providing that to her friend. When I said that, she got upset and said, I don't understand what women go through, and it's about safety. And I admit she's right. I have no idea what women go through, but that doesn't mean I'm giving my social security number out to a complete stranger. She says he isn't a complete stranger. He's one of her best friends and married to a close friend of hers. And I said, honey, that's great, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
I don't trust him because I don't know him. That's my information you're asking for. You can trust him with your personal information if you want, but no one I don't know is getting my social security number or critical details. It's just not happening.
I mean, really, nobody I know is getting my social security. I'm not handing that out. That's
apart
weird.
from my wife and my parents, if they, my mom does my taxes. So
yeah. Accountants,
yeah.
business partners, spouse.
That's it.
That's it.
And she said that our relationship isn't going to be able to progress unless I give him my social security number because she needs to know that she's safe and she's offended that I don't trust her taste in friends. I got up and left at that point and told her I respect her concerns, but her past trauma doesn't give her the right to try and strong arm me into giving out sensitive information to someone I don't know just because he works for the federal government and has access to a database. I used to work for the federal government, so I can say from experience, everyone working there isn't some wonderful person. I'm not assuming he's a monster or anything, but just working for the feds doesn't prove anything to me. She called me insensitive and hasn't spoken to me since. Personally, I feel like she was gaslighting me into giving her what she wants, but I'm not sure. So am I the asshole?
No. And I think OP already said it in his story. Yes, he understands that he may never know what, she went through and he may never understand it, but her trauma is her own responsibility. If she's that insecure about this relationship moving forward, I gotta say, baby girl, if you don't trust him, you just got to leave and you just got to work on yourself to have a partner that you trust. And it's unfortunate that you went through what you went through, but I'm sorry, but that is sensitive information. I would not just trust that with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we said during the call, it's just like, that's not something you give out. Also, there has to be other ways to get like criminal background checks.
Yes.
Or if I would just be like, honestly, I'll give you the money to hire a PI on me. I won't schedule it myself. That way I won't even know what's happening if you're so worried about it. But I'm like, also, I mean, I feel like trust is a part of any kind of relationship. Not everyone is going to be a criminal. I mean, there are unfortunately a lot of cheating dickheads out there.
For sure.
But I don't know if a background check is going to catch that.
Nope.
That seems like that was the main reason for the breaking up, not so much the secret criminal activities. So
you can do kind of like a free version of it without having to divulge every single thing. Just say, hey, these are every single counties that I've ever lived in.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and run my name in those county like database
police database,
police reports, or like anything. If I've ever been like arrest records, those are public record.
Yep.
Go ahead, run my name. And if it doesn't pop up, then shit ain't gonna happen. Like there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. Yeah.
Social security is a lot. I mean, that's like the rule number one is like never share the social security number with anyone.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing whenever you like are a teenager and you're like, all right, I guess I should start memorizing this number. Thing everyone tells you is like, don't give this out. So I think it's crazy. It's a weird ask.
Yeah. So not only that, like social security, like that number is not just like, hey, I can find information about you. That can also open up so much potential things. You can open up a loan with those numbers, credit cards, all those information, or like, you can fuck up someone's life by having that, that piece of information. So again, I would not trust that unless it's my partner, it's my wife, or, I'm doing business with essentially.
Yeah. So OP was voted overwhelmingly not the asshole. There was a commenter who said, not the asshole. This is sketchy as fuck. Is this relationship progress about moving in together or intimacy? It's kind of giving me long distance vibes along with scam. Trust your gut. To which OP said, yeah, it's about moving in together. She's talking about wanting to take the next step in our relationship, which was cool with me until this. And then another commenter said, not the asshole. I just had a background check completed. I've had to give them 5 years of my background because I volunteer with children. Some in state, some federal. I've also been screened by the government for permanent several times. I have never had to provide a social security number. Sadly, I think your girlfriend may be the criminal and you are maybe her long con mark. So a lot of people are saying it might be a scam.
It does seem like if someone's desperate for your social,
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, you would imagine her friend in the federal government could just look his name up and find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Not really. You can't really. Yeah, you need an identifier to be able to like know all these other information.
Right. Or he could give you he could be like, oh, but you can just look up police databases. Like,
yeah,
I feel if it was a good friend, they would just tell you that.
yeah. There's some. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to access it because you need a bunch of shit.
Also, it's illegal to do for your personal use for a federal agent.
You need that authorization first.
Yeah. There's got to be forms for sure.
Definitely. And they're annoying to fill. They're like 45 pages long.
I bet. All right. So on to the update. After reading the comments I've been getting over the last few days, I decided to call her on New Year's Eve and give things one last chance because I'm the type of person that needs to know I did everything I could before I walk away from a relationship. And some people said she has valid concerns. She just went the wrong way about them, which makes sense. I told her I understand and respect your need to ensure your safety, but I'm not willing to potentially compromise my safety to make you feel safe by handing over my social security number to someone I don't know and don't trust. And it's illegal for him to even use federal database for personal reasons. So that's out, but what I will do is pay for a background check of your choosing so long as it's legitimate service and gives you the results. I will not be providing my social security number to anyone, but my address, date of birth, etc. are all fair game. So just like you said, Sean. She refused and said that she has chosen a background check and that's having her friend do it because she knows she can trust him.
Nah, that's a scam, bro. She's scamming.
Scam
Yeah,
like
she's a scammer.
Yeah.
Run.
Feels like it. So I said, if that's how you feel and you won't budge, then the issue here is trust, and I'm not willing to stay in a relationship with a woman that doesn't trust me because of some shit that doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not paying for another man's sins, and I'm not giving you my social security number because your ex was a criminal. She started crying and asking why I can't understand that it's not about me, it's about her. And I said, you made it about me when you asked about my SIN number. Social security, sorry. We call it SIN
brother.
number here.
SIM?
SIN.
SIM?
SIN, but
Oh,
What does that stand for?
social insurance number? No.
Social insurance number.
Yeah, social insurance number. Okay. But it's the same idea. It's basically.
Yeah.
She got pissed at me and started accusing me of lying and not caring about her safety and saying if I really cared about them, then I have no problem doing this because I don't understand how vulnerable women are in society. So I said I was willing to work with you up to a reasonable point, but now you're just trying to manipulate me and I don't feel safe being with you anymore. Because if this is how you react when you don't get your way about my SIN number, a social security number.
You good, brother. You don't need to correct yourself. We understand.
At this point, we're at
I'm correcting it for the TikTok, okay? What happens next time we are having a major disagreement or a serious situation comes up? Are you going to keep crying to try and get your way or throw out another ultimatum to try and force me into doing what you want? She started saying that as a man, I can't understand what it's like to go through life as a woman and have to be afraid, and that this is what she has to do for her safety and security, and I just need to respect that and give her what she needs for her comfort.
I mean, at that point, you got to find a partner that's willing to do that for you. If that's such a big concern for you, and yes, I completely agree. We will never know what it feels like, but not at the cost of someone's comfortable level to be doing something as well.
And I will say that like it is smart to be cautious as a woman.
Oh, yes.
For sure. Run background checks if you feel like you need to on a guy you're going out on dates with. But like this is going beyond that. This is now you're asking him to compromise his safety, his life so that you can feel safe. Even though you don't really need this from him.
And rejecting his compromise. He's just like, hey, I'm already willing to meet you halfway.
Yeah. Oh, he's willing to do a background check, just not the one she is demanding.
Yeah, the one he's comfortable with.
Yes.
And it's crazy because the one she's demanding is not even like
legal.
There's no way to
It's not
credit it.
ethical.
It's not accredited. It's it's her friend doing illegal shit at his job.
Some
you know
guy.
what I mean?
I feel this is now gone into the realm where it's like, okay, you either are trying to scam this person or you need a lot of therapy and need to be out of a relationship for a while and work on yourself. It's one of those two things. It feels like.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too. It's like, yes, what she's saying is valid, but now I feel she's weaponizing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. she's not telling lies in the fact that, a man will never understand what it's like. We won't. That's for sure. But also, that's not the, like, when
That's
he
not the
gives,
issue here.
Yeah, that's not the, that's not the reasoning. He met you halfway. He found like, all right, your friend is, I don't know him, but we can find a credited, reasonable way to do this. You will get a background check.
Yeah.
And then you were still like, nah. So it's not even like, it's not the not understanding thing. I think he's trying to understand.
For sure.
He wants to do a background check. So it's like, it just seems fishy.
So I was like, I tried to compromise. You wouldn't accept it. There's nothing more to say here. And to be clear, I wasn't exactly calm. I have severe anxiety, so this was really, really hard conversation for me to have. I was actively pacing around my house and sweating and forcing words out the entire time. Then she started crying and asking about New Year's because we were supposed to spend it with her parents. I said, you should have thought of that before you tried to strong arm me into getting your way. This isn't and everyone stood up and applauded moment. That's just how things went. I hung up and now we're over. Obviously I'm hurt, but I'm realizing I dodged a bullet because there's no reason shit should have got this fucking messy. And before anyone tries to jump me in the comments again, I offered to pay for the background check, but she refused because it wasn't the test she wanted. I feel like I made a good faith effort to resolve things. I hate to ring in the new year without a kiss under the mistletoe, but it is what it is. I don't know if she really is that concerned I'm some lunatic criminal or if she's trying to scam me like a lot of you said. Either way, it's over now. And that is the update.
I mean, dude trusted his gut, and I felt like he made the right call.
Yeah, I think so too. I think for all the reasons we've listed out, and the comments, there were some comments that were like, not really getting the point and just being like, well, you don't understand what's like being a woman. Like, and it's like, yes.
And he acknowledged that a bunch of times.
He has acknowledged that. And they're just like, you should just let her do the check. And it's like, no. He's compromised and said, I will do a check. She's pushing it to some place where he doesn't feel comfortable. And I don't think you should compromise your comfortability to make her feel comfortable.
Yeah. And it wasn't just like one check. He said, take any of these checks you want. I'll pay for it too.
Yeah, pick one.
And she was like, no, it has to be my friend doing illegal shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That friend needs to be reported.
I would report them if I was this guy.
That is what one of the comments said at the very end. They were like, yeah, you should report the friend.
Yeah, there's a lot of unethical shit involved in that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't. I wonder if there is actually a friend. Who knows? Because
if it's a scam, probably no friend.
Yeah.
Did they mention that it was like a long term or like a long distance? I don't know if I missed that.
They weren't living together.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but they're like kind of the same vicinity.
Yeah, well, they said they were going to hang out on New Year's.
Okay,
so
okay.
I imagine they're in the same vicinity.
I've seen your shit in 90 Day Fiancé.
True. All right, moving on to the next story, posted by Cancel Lazy 4590. And the title is, Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she's insane for not teaching her daughter English?
This sounds a little racist.
Yeah, I'm going to go asshole.
Okay.
But if they are in like a English is the first language, that's kind of tough.
Yeah, because that would be difficult for the kid to have a shot at employment or, all that. I mean, they can still have an employment, but
yeah, but you're just setting them up for like a harder time. It sounds like they're like in school. So
right.
You'd be setting them up for a harder time in school.
Watch, they live in a country that speaks like 5 different languages that's not English.
Yeah, and then truly, then it doesn't matter.
You mean
any other country
EU
besides
nation?
the US?
Yeah. Or yeah, there's tons of them.
Oh my gosh, when I used to interview people from like Europe, I get so jealous because all their resumes would always like spoken languages, proficiency, Italian, English, like German, and all this shit. I'm like, I wish I could speak more than like 3 languages. I mean, I speak 3 languages, but
you speak the most languages on the podcast.
Yeah, and everybody here, so
yeah,
you got to speak there.
Me and Sean barely speak English.
I will say this: it would be easier if all 50 states spoke different languages. You know what I mean? Like, then, of course, we'd be bilingual.
You would have to.
They live in I mean, I don't know how big Europe is, but every time I see a picture of Texas on top of Europe, looks pretty comparable in size. So I mean, I feel like if I live that close to other countries,
Yeah.
You're
I
speaking
probably-
American in America.
Well, no, I probably would know other languages too if I could travel to Germany and then be back home for dinner. I would probably know German. You know what I mean?
I will say that argument weighs less heavy because you're not that
I
far
am
from
right
the
next to
Mexican
Mexico and I don't know
border.
Spanish. So that is true.
Your wife speaks Spanish too, my guy.
Yeah.
You're like
Please learn.
you're like right on the American Gulf.
No, Gulf of America.
Gulf of
Get it
America.
right,
That's
John.
what it is. Fuck me.
I just want to learn that Mandarin so I can sing that song out loud.
Hell
You
yeah.
deleted Red Note. I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to sing it anymore.
Yeah,
Gasp.
you're not allowed.
But I guess you deleted TikTok. So you truly,
I
On
don't
neither side.
discriminate, brother. I just delete shit.
yeah.
He's on reels only.
Oh, the
It's
worst.
just because I'm lazy. It's because I'm lazy, all right?
It's dark times for John.
So much places.
I used Reels for like 30 minutes after our live, and I was like, I mean, I'm probably biased, but this shit sucks ass.
The algorithm sucks.
There was a long time ago where I tried to use it, and this was one of the few times I used it. And I scroll up, and it was just like a car crash, and I definitely saw someone die, and I was like, I'm never going on this fucking thing again.
Dude,
was
I feel
"What the
like and I never really touched Reels. So it feels like I guess because I'm a man, all of my algo is like Gooner or like death.
fuck?"
And I'm like, bro, what? I'll hit not interested so I could like, all right, let's keep it to, shit I like. I haven't built this algorithm brick by brick.
yeah.
But then I was like, oh man, like it pops back up. I'm like, I know I haven't been on Reels. I don't know.
You know what? I've used like YouTube Shorts more, like
Yeah.
because of
They have
like
a good algo?
wrestling content. Literally, my YouTube Shorts algorithm is wrestling, inside the NBA, and clips of Jeff Teague's podcast.
Okay.
Jeff Teagues has a good podcast. I'll
He's
tell you
fucking
what.
hilarious.
Yeah, I feel YouTube Shorts would probably be closer because you're already watching content on there, so it
Mhm.
kind of knows what you like already.
And then I got on Snapchat, and apparently they have it. They're trying to fucking do it too.
Yeah.
They're like, scroll. We have a new section full of trending videos that you could vertically scroll. I said, oh no, everyone's trying.
I don't even know if I have Snapchat anymore. Jesus
I
Christ.
I
haven't
really
had Snapchat
wish
for
that-
years.
Yeah, I have like the same friend groups, 2 friend groups that use it still. I don't know why, but they're the only reasons. And every time I say, oh yeah, I'm on Snapchat, people are like, what are you, 18? Oh god. But yeah.
No.
What do you call it? I want Blue Sky to have some sort of.
Yes, they have trending videos now.
Oh, do
do
they?
they?
They have like a TikTok alternative?
Yeah, it's kind of sucks still. So
Fair enough.
Because that seems to be the only one that is like not owned by an insane person at
Not
the
yet.
moment,
Not yet.
or at least not publicly known insane person. So I'd would love for that to be just the go-to replacement for everything.
Yeah,
So
Blue
far.
MySpace, make a comeback, please.
Blue Sky.
Tom
beat
is the
everything
goat,
up.
bro. He sold it all and lived a nice
Motherfucker
life
riding off the sunset.
elsewhere.
Right now.
He's just being a photographer in foreign countries.
All
Shit's
right.
sick.
Let me direct us back to the story.
Dope.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, it's not a Monday.
I'm not on meds today, so I'm really distracted easily.
So once again, this is Emma the asshole for telling my sister that she is insane for not teaching her daughter English.
Whoa. We said that a while ago.
A couple times I tried to course correct, and you guys just kept going.
Oh man, that's crazy.
My 20 female family is originally from Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
My sister Christine, 30 female, was born in Sweden and was raised speaking Swedish and English. Sean, let's hear it.
No.
he's gonna say Swedish.
when Elon Musk does a Nazi salute on live television, I'm like, I just won't do any accents right now until things calm down.
We've got some reparations to do. She and my parents came to the US when she was 10, and I was born not long afterwards. I was raised only speaking English. My parents did not bother having me learn Swedish because it isn't widely spoken language where we live. And in fact, when I was little, they had a rule that Kristen could only speak to me in English. They did this because they did not want to hinder me from being able to communicate with my peers. I visited Sweden maybe twice when I was really little, and I don't really have any recollection. Kristen, however, has fond memories of her childhood. Since she moved out, she has regularly visited Sweden. She has been married to her husband, Eric, 30 male, for about 3 years. Eric is also from Sweden and came to the US in his early 20s. Eric was also raised speaking English and Swedish. but is more comfortable talking in Swedish. They have a daughter, Elsa, who is 18 months old and learning to talk. When they came over for Christmas dinner, I tried to talk to Elsa, but Kristen told me that I can only talk to Elsa in Swedish, but not English. I thought she was raising Elsa speaking both Swedish and English, but she told me that they are not going to bother teaching her English, and I asked her why. Kristen told me that they want Elsa to be connected to her heritage, and also because they plan on eventually moving back to Sweden. I asked if she had an idea as to when they will move, and she said it could be 1 year or 10 years. That is a wide...
10 years is... 10 years, you might want to teach Elsa some English.
Yeah, she's going to be Swedish in America. I don't know if they take kindly to
I mean, unless you're homeschooling Elsa.
For sure. I mean, yeah.
And
but
then probably Elsa by a
social.
certain age will... I mean, if we were 5 in a foreign country, we would probably also learn the English pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, but why
know,
wouldn't you teach
whatever
them
that-
both when both parents know how to speak both? That's
Yeah.
kind of weird to me.
And part of your family only speaks English. You know what I mean? Like, but besides all that, like through a social aspect, for her to make friends or anything in the area, even if you're homeschooled, you still should have your kid have some interaction with other kids. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I told Kristen that she's doing Elsa a big disservice by not teaching her English. She told me it won't be an issue as she'll learn it when she goes to kindergarten. I said that I can understand wanting Elsa to know Swedish, and if they had any immediate plans to move back to Sweden, then I could understand prioritizing Swedish over English. But since they don't have any immediate plans to move back there, she should learn both languages now so that she can communicate with her English-speaking relatives in the US, as well as her peers and her teachers when she goes to school. I said that not teaching Elsa any language at all is insane. Kristen got mad at me and told me I was being xenophobic. I told her this would not be an issue if Elsa speaks English too, but because almost nobody around here speaks Swedish, she's still hindering her daughter. She said that it's possible that by the time Elsa is ready to start school, they might have moved back to Sweden. My parents are mostly on my side, but say that they understand why she's doing this, and I was being harsh by saying that she was insane for not teaching her English, and that I should be more understanding. I feel it is equally harsh for her to say I'm xenophobic. I think it's great to be multilingual, but one needs to be able to communicate with the majority of the people where they live. But now I'm starting to feel like maybe I was too harsh. So am I the asshole?
Sorry, I had to look up what xenophobia is. So
It's like, yeah,
it's a dislike or prejudice against people from other countries.
yeah.
I don't.
It's like national racism, I guess.
Yeah. I don't.
Instead of race, it's
It's
the name.
nation,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
how
don't
we were
see-
on TikTok for 12 hours towards America, actually.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to see like xenophobia in there, but maybe it's just my ignorance in a topic. But I'm gonna say not the asshole for this. I think OP is correct that they're doing the kid a disservice by not teaching them both language when they both know it.
And I think personally, you have a unique experience on this, John, because you moved to America knowing very little English, right?
Yeah, I knew very little English coming in, and it was such a difficult way to connect with people because it's like, all right, even the people that are like, you know, my own people, like they're just like, oh, we speak English here, and we're not gonna associate with you. We're gonna fucking bully you, as a matter of fact.
Right.
For not
Jesus
learning English
Christ.
very well. Dude, fresh off the boat was my nickname for like the longest time,
That's crazy.
and
I do remember fob was a thing. That
it was a thing. Yeah, it was a thing, and like I had the thickest.
if a
accent.
white person called any of my fob friends fob, I'd be like,
Hey,
yo,
shut
what
the
the
fuck up.
fuck?
It do be,
But
but
then
it do be your
also
own
like
people.
the
though.
American Filipinos would be like, yeah, fob, dude.
Yeah, it'd
That's
be your own
crazy.
people that be fucking you up. Yeah, and I think it's an absolute disservice to do that because, like I said, the parents both know how to speak it, and you even know if you're gonna live in a country where, like, as much as I hate to say it, like English is the most universally spoken language in the world, right?
Yeah.
At least one of them, and even if they're gonna try to migrate somewhere like back to Sweden, where there's countries that are so close to each other, they might not be able to speak like Swedish. And if, let's say, they want to go to like Switzerland or they want to go to like Germany or other states, if they don't know how to speak English, they're going to have a barrier because they're going to be like, oh, well, I don't speak German. So
Mhm.
what's the other commonality that I can speak with? And you guys already said it in the beginning. It's like, you are taking away the social aspect from this kid, and they're probably going to have a difficult time, growing up, not being able to socialize with other kids, because that's unfortunately a universal language that a lot of people speak. So I don't see the xenophobia in it at all. And I don't think OP's the asshole in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think OP's the asshole either. I do understand that the sister is like, because I could see where she's like, oh my God, like, look at my little brother. He is not Swedish at all. I've had to like mute my Swedish-ism around him. I've had to mute my culture when I'm in America.
Right.
And like, she's just like, yeah, I want my kid to be Swedish as fuck. So I can understand where that's a point. And I would even be like, you're totally fine. But like OP said, and like what we said, if you're moving in like 5 years, that's fine. Cause that's before they're really in school and all of that. But if you're not even sure, 1 to 10 years is crazy.
A big range.
Also, I don't know how old this kid is. Did they say?
They said 15 months? Or
18,
like
18
months.
So that's where I was nodding my head. I'm like, 5 years, they're definitely in school.
Okay, so like, like 4 years. You got 4 years to move to Sweden where it's okay.
Yeah.
Anytime after 4 years, you're kind of fucking this kid up. Because like, if you're there, and then they said, oh, they'll just learn it in kindergarten. So public school for sure sounds like, or, I guess they do kindergarten in private. But like not homeschool.
No.
So like they're definitely engaging with people that only speak English. And like what John said, you're just giving another barrier for your kid to be able to connect with the other kids in the class. And I would get it if your sister only spoke Swedish. But like what John said, both parents know English. Their cousins and family know English. So it's like, why even do that? You know what I mean?
I get
Again,
prioritizing.
if you're moving pretty soon, I still would be like, it doesn't hurt to know more than one language.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I would understand like your nationalism and feeling like you've had to like not be proud of being Swedish just because, I can only talk to my little brother in English.
Right.
I'm in America, so I have to speak English. Like, I could get where that's frustrating. I know a lot of like Filipinos or like Hispanic people that are like, oh, if I'm home, why the fuck would I speak English? You know what I mean? Like, that's not that's not me.
Yeah,
You know what
I get
mean?
that for sure.
So I get where your own personal, like wanting to be Swedish and wanting your kid to be Swedish. But again, like, I don't know if you're going to put them in public school, could be hindering them.
Yeah. And like, I would understand if they prioritize Swedish, but also taught them English. Like, I think that's even like bare minimum stuff for like safety
conversational
reasons.
Right?
Like I was saying safety reasons. Like if they get lost or something, and then they have like, you're at a superstore or something, and they get lost, they have no way to communicate to anyone else in the store. Like just basic like English like words that they can communicate to get help or anything like that. I think that's a good idea, especially if you don't have a hard set date on when you're moving. And it's funny because we have a ton of Swedish listeners for the show. So I think even in Sweden, English is very common. And so it's like, it doesn't hurt to know both, even when you're there. And for the reason John said, if you're traveling or anything like that in Europe, English is probably the most common in many of the countries. So,
or at least it's one of the things that they know how to speak.
Yeah. One of the 8 languages they all know how to speak. Yeah.
Again, super jealous of all of you.
I could speak barely any French.
But you sound sexy when you do it, Josh.
Wow, thanks. And I'm like right at the border of Quebec. So
that is true. You could go to Quebec and then back.
Yeah,
maybe you could go to brunch in Quebec and be back.
I was going to say, you could have read that menu to Sean and understand that like those items are not available.
I was like, bro, there's no fucking lift here? What are you talking about? I'm fucking stuck?
But yeah, Reddit deemed not the asshole. And Redhead 926 said they live in the US, but they might move back to Sweden. So they're not teaching their daughter English. That's pretty dangerous. For example, what happens if Elsa gets lost and she can't understand when people are asking where her parents are, nor could she tell anyone who they are. Every little kid gets lost at some point in their lives, so this is not an unlikely scenario. In an emergency, how would, say, 3-year-old Elsa be able to tell anyone? I also have a good friend from Sweden, and she speaks 8 languages. According,
Damn.
So sick.
according to her, English is required subject in most schools in Sweden. So Elsa would actually be behind other kids who may have been speaking and or understanding English their whole lives. So Swedish listeners, let us know if this is insane in your eyes. I'd love to hear.
And
from
Rosetta Stone, if you can hear this, please sponsor us.
We'll
That'd be
love
great.
that
Thank
shit.
you.
And in fact, any
Yeah, we'll take
language.
any.
Duolingo.
You know,
I love
I'll
your
take
social
it.
media team. Please sponsor us.
They are unhinged. I do
I love it.
on the last day, quote unquote, of TikTok, they revealed who was under the suit.
Oh, did they? I missed it.
They did. And then they came back.
Is it a celebrity or is it just a random person?
Just some random guy. I don't know who he was.
Damn. Face reveal and then, we're back.
I mean, that
Oh,
was like a trend. People were like, now that TikTok's ending, let me reveal
Yeah.
a huge secret about my account.
I don't
I was
actually
like-
drink my coffees. It's like, what the fuck?
I actually don't run. I've been,
Well, that one I knew. There's tons of influencers. You see them like doing their quote unquote runs. And it's just like they probably start the filming, get in their car, drive. and
Oh, I
just-
love the mockumentary of
That's
those.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
So good. All right, last one before we hop into the Patreon. We've been all over the place today, guys. I did not think we'd
Sorry.
take this long. This one's a
I
shorter
just want
one.
to talk to my boys. All right.
Yeah. We do the live stream and we just start getting rambly.
we've done too many live streams now. We're getting too comfortable with the time going long.
This one's cross-posted by Efficient Midscore Push Midscore 5891. And the title is, Am I the asshole for grounding my daughter and canceling her senior trip after I found out she was cheating on her boyfriend?
Ooh. I mean, I'm kind of stuck on this.
Yeah. Obviously, we hate cheaters, but it's like, I'm also of the big belief. Okay, one, you don't want to teach them that cheating is cool.
Right.
And like, you could just get away with that. But two, also like high school relationships are,
They don't count.
they don't necessarily high school relationships. I mean, very rarely do they turn out to be anything more. But
Tell that to my
three,
parents, okay?
I mean, yeah, it's cute when it happens. It's lovely when it happens.
Yeah.
But 99, I would say, percent of the time.
Yeah, when they're work, they're cute, but when it fizzles out, it's like, it's high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
barely
like,
remember
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, that is a strange one. That is a difficult one. I don't know if I would cancel their whole trip, but there has to be some sort of punishment, I think, right? Because you don't want them to be like, that's fine to do. It's similar to the peeping Tom thing. Not
Yeah.
cool.
Unless she cheated on her boyfriend with some grown ass dude.
Oh, I mean,
In
for
that
sure. If
case,
it's
I'm
like,
like,
oh yeah, I cheated
You
with
are
a 30-year-old.
staying.
Oh, what?
Because you always ask, where are the parents? Maybe this is the parent, Sean.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I hope not. No. I hope not.
All right. So I have two daughters, Lizzie, 17 female, and Mackenzie, 14 female. Their dad and I divorced a few years ago after I discovered he was having an affair.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is a double whammy for OP. I have the kids most of the time, and their dad has them every weekend and during the summer. Lizzie has been dating Jacob, 18 male, for over a year now. Jacob is constantly at our house. He's a sweet, good young man, and I believe he'll be valedictorian of their class. However, a few weeks ago...
No, I'm just kidding.
However-
Oh God, I wish.
Yeah, I could never have been.
I think I was ranked 116 out of 450 or something.
That's above
That's
average.
still pretty good, brother.
Good, but not. I mean, valedictorian is one. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't have to be the smartest to be the valedictorian.
Oh no,
I don't think ours was the
I
smartest.
think our guy was the one.
No, no, I don't think ours was. But I mean, she was smart, but she wasn't like number one.
Shout out to valedictorians, Luigi, free my boy.
It's way too much school days for me to even be ranked.
Damn.
I ditched so much.
However, a few weeks ago, I overheard Lizzie on the phone with a guy clearly flirting. At first, I thought it was Jacob, and then I heard her say Brandon. I realized she was talking to someone else. Then a week later, she mentioned to me that she was heading out with to hang out with a friend, and when I looked out the window, I saw her getting into a car and greet a guy with a kiss, and it wasn't Jacob. Even after that, Jacob continued to come over, hanging out with Lizzie. He and Lizzie still acted like a couple, holding hands, laughing, and spending time together, just like they always had. I felt disgusted knowing my daughter was a two-timer. After Jacob left, I confronted my daughter, and I asked her point blank, Are you cheating on your boyfriend with another guy? She said it was none of my business and that her personal life was hers only. I told her she was wrong and I raised her to be better than to treat people like this.
Why do you think you go to a different house on the weekends? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, this is what your dad did. She told me that she was bored with Jacob and Brandon was more of her type now.
Then break up, baby girl.
I told her that if she wasn't happy, she should just break up with Jacob. She said she didn't know if she wanted to be with Brandon or if she was just having fun flirting and teasing. I told her cheating was unacceptable and wrong, and as a consequence, I grounded her. I also told her that she wasn't allowed to go on her senior trip with her friends. She obviously didn't take that too well and has been at her dad's place for the last couple days. My ex-husband called me saying I was being unreasonable for not letting her go on the trip. And
Well,
that
of course. A cheater's going to support a cheater.
Yeah.
oh, what you did wasn't so bad.
And that her and Jacob were just a high school thing. He then told me I needed to put my bitterness aside and to stop punishing his daughter. I told him that I was teaching our daughter right from wrong and that actions have consequences. So am I the asshole?
Okay, we're not parents. Oh,
Yeah,
is
we're
that
not parents here.
preface that? But I'm gonna go with no. It does suck because that those senior trips are like a once in a lifetime thing. Unless you flunk senior year, then you're just a dumbass. But
Damn. People
wait,
can
what?
flunk. That's fine.
What the fuck?
but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I think the punishment is suitable because at the end of the day, she is hurting somebody, and it is a lesson, and it's although it's coming from her like trauma that like, hey, the dad cheated. Yeah, it's a good lesson to impart to a kid. It's just like, dude, you just don't hurt people like that. If you're not happy with a relationship, do the right thing, set that person free, because you're gonna carry that onto adulthood. Because then now,
Mhm.
if she gets away with doing that, then she's gonna normalize that growing up. It's like, oh, I remember when I had like 2 boyfriends at a time, and I was seeing someone on the side, and my current boyfriend didn't know. And that's just a fucked up thing for a person to like think that everything's okay, but really you're cheating on them on the side. So yes, it sucks missing out on those things, but I think it's justifiable as
Yeah,
an
I mean,
unparent.
I don't know if I would, but I mean, I think it's a fine punishment for, punishment fits the crime. You're trying to, teach them morals at a young age. And especially if she knows why y'all are divorced, that's a crazy move by
Yeah.
her. Also, I think if it were me, probably what I would tell her is like, next time your boyfriend is here, I'm going to just be like, ask her about Brandon. So like, you better fucking get that in check or not bring him around here. I don't know, some shit like that. Cause it's like, dude, you're right. Your personal life is your personal life, I guess. But you are, low key living under my house. I'm not going to have, if you're not serious about that kid, I don't want him in my house. I don't want him taking my water, pooping in my toilet. I don't want him eating my food. You know what I'm saying? So make your choice. I'm not having 2 dudes in here stealing resources from my house. So pick one.
Yeah. And Reddit mostly agreed. Like they mostly said not the asshole. Some people said everyone sucks. But even then, the people that were saying not the asshole were saying this punishment won't necessarily teach her a lesson because the school trip doesn't have any direct correlation with that. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were saying like the grounding's fine, but what you should have done is said, and if you don't tell Jacob what's going on, I will cancel your senior trip. So it's like, then it's a connection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To like,
yeah.
You now have the balls in your court, own up to what you did, tell Jacob and talk to him. That's the consequences. And then you could still go on the trip.
But
If you
then
don't,
she could be like, I have to break up with you, Jacob. Just because my mom says I have to break up with you.
no.
Wait, why would she say that? I'm not quite sure.
Mom
then
said-
I'd tell Jacob. Then I'd be like, listen, Jacob, she was cheating on your ass.
My daughter is a lying bitch.
But yeah, that's what most of the commenters were saying. They're like,
That's
like
fair. Yeah.
connect the punishment so that they learn. Consequences have like that. Your actions have consequences.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. What did you think? Were we rambly? Let us know in the comments down below on YouTube, Discord, Spotify, or on our subreddit. If you want more, we got 2 stories where we do 2 more Am I the Asshole stories on Patreon at patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network, or become a YouTube member. I believe that's it. Do we know what we're doing for merch for February?
I'm too scared to put Risen and Jizzin on a t-shirt. I feel like our merch maker will shut our shop down.
They won't allow it.
Let's do something with
I
coconuts.
mean, because we
for
tried to
Valentine's
make
Day.
a "Don't fuck your pets."
Oh
merch.
yeah.
And then like we looked at the fine print, and they're like, any sexual content will get your shit shut down without notice or warning.
What if we just do a drippy coconut?
Jesus. Let's do it.
Good God.
I'm pretty sure Janelle can draw something like that, right?
Probably. Or like instead of an apple and a worm, it's a coconut and several maggots.
Yeah. And a really old coconut. It's got to be old. Looking like it's rotted.
Not the cocussy.
Cocussy. We can't name it that. But
No, we're not naming
we'll
it
name it. We'll name it the drippy coconut.
I don't know if that's better.
But anyway, check out our Reddit on wikishop.com. In February, there will be something. We don't know what yet, but
We'll
check
figure
it
it
out. But yes, that is it. Thank you, Sean and John, for coming on today, giving all your takes. And thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Later.
Get there.